I don't think there'll be more people coming, and I do not expect a lot more to flock in anyway. It is still very surprising to me that so many of you are so eager to listen. We've definitely had a had a long 2 years on forward, given that it has started with Harpy Hair, and of course you fell in love with that track, and you're still here is beyond me. I'll always just really be grateful. And I don't really know how else to express my gratitude other than to communicate directly with you as much as I can. I try so hard to make sure that I sound as genuine as possible, even though the public does believe me, even though so many people, I mean, do believe me, they only really know a singular part of my person because all you really know about me is through the screen and through my stage name, through my music. But when I say I'm grateful, I'm not thanking you. I'm not thanking you as as the person that I am on stage. I'm not thanking you as any of my characters. I'm not thanking you as that persona I perform when I'm on a show. I'm thanking you as a person. I'm thanking you as me, as me entirely. Um, I hope my microphone is okay. As always, I will have to ask. Thank you, Dandy. Thank you so much for confirming. I sound really cracky and my voice is tired and low because it is currently 2:53 a.m. I know it's really bad. I'm awake at midnight in my time zone. And it's nearing 3 a.m. and it's not ideal. I usually sleep a lot earlier than this and wake up really early. I do not like missing my mornings and my breakfast. But today has just been a lot. And the start of February has just been a lot. And I was really scared when I first finished the video. I was scared when I was editing the video. I was scared of even thinking of reading my entry. I think I am able to comfortably start now, given that there are about 300 people in here, and I doubt that it's going to expand it for a bit more. I'm okay. You don't need to be worried about me. Before I continue, I just want to affirm that I will not be quitting. I don't know where that idea came from. I love what I do. I love writing my stories. I love telling stories. I love reading to people. I love making music, and music is a part of my person. It's it's something that I can't just casually take off. Just because I'm overwhelmed by the world, it doesn't mean that I will give up that passion. I I will tell my story no matter how long it takes. Even if it's hard, I want to stay with an audience or not. But you're more than welcome to attend if you wish. And aside from that, I would also like to affirm that I am talking about this not because I'm depressed or something is happening really bad in my personal life. I'm talking about this because I feel as though it is time for me to address it. I I know that I speak very s- specifically. When I want to express myself, I tend to lead with prose and metaphors and perspectives that are seen too philosophical or harder to grasp. And I know that a lot of the younger people fret easier due to not being able to comprehend what I'm saying. And I don't really know how to simplify it myself. So I really, really appreciate it when when Wonderfolk, when I see Wonderfolk who are able to understand what I'm saying, simplify it, and help other people understand and not get overwhelmed. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that what I'm going to say in this live um, will be delivered the same. I'm going to start. It's 3 a.m. I wanted to go to sleep, but despite the time and despite the fatigue, the mind races and it doesn't want to be quiet. I feel as though I have left a page unread, or I have left something unfinished, and I feel as though I could say more and more and more. And the dream is for me to be able to clearly communicate my person and what I want, not only for this song, but for my perception. I feel so bad that you don't understand what I'm saying. How do I simplify this? Thank you. You're very sweet. You're very, very sweet. It has always been a trouble for me to simplify or summarize my feelings and my stories and my sentences because I think it is so limiting to just, it is so limiting to use um, very little common words and phrases. But of course, it's easier to understand or comprehend because you hear it every day and it's like normal talk, it's casual. But this is just how I talk, especially when it comes to these things. But I digress. I wanted to go to sleep as it was natural for me to feel tired around midnight. And it's way past midnight. It's 3 a.m. And I just, again, felt like I needed to do something else. I felt like my mind was still racing, still so worried and still so fretful. I just did something beyond myself. A week ago, I didn't think that I would be publishing a piece of my a piece of my journal this raw to the public. On the February 1st, we had we had a photo shoot and it did not go quite well. I of course had my plans and my checklist, so this is what I need, this is what I need to do, this is how I'm going to act. I'm going to accomplish this and end the day feeling achieved. But I've forgotten just how much this topic affected me. And my photographer, Romani, she's such a beautiful person. She's amazing. And I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the most beautiful people. She was asking casually about a song. a song that I've had for a very long time. And naturally, but very foolish of me to have forgotten how much this has affected me. I just started crying. And I don't like talking about me being emotional and crying during my live streams because of course people are going to be like, I'm going to cry too. Stop. I don't want it to be a pity thing. I just want to state something. And I'm stating at the moment that I was an emotional wreck. And it has really just put me back and reminded me of how much how important this song was. Um, I don't like calling it vent. I just saw Mix Kindy. Thank you so much. You're very sweet. But I don't think I'm venting right now. The purpose of this live stream and the purpose of that video and the purpose of that journal entry being shared to the public is so that people are able to comprehend and understand that artists are not machines. And I am very grateful yet again to be able to confidently say that this community is very forgiving and very understanding and very patient. However, it is inescapable to stumble upon those who cannot comprehend the artists beyond their work, and that they are able to just produce media treated like toys, played around without any sort of respect. Admiration towards the work of an artist isn't practically respect. It has to be specific. You have to handle it with care because the person behind that project is a human being with emotions, experiences, stories you yourself haven't experienced. Sure, you can relate and you can say that I can compare this to my situation, and that's beautiful. I think that's very beautiful. However, truth still stands that my truth is not yours. And how this affects me is beyond you yourself as a whole different being. And that's okay. Again, well, I don't think I was digressing. To be fair, I think that was a huge part of it, really. Hmm. It's about, I want to address Harkin, and I will be very clear. And it's not like I'm hiding it or anything. And I've mentioned it in the video in itself. The entirety of it was about that song, and I want to further discuss it. So much left unsaid. What I read to you, that voiceover was a summarization or a compact version of one of my journal entries. And I don't know if it has left a lot of things out or it has successfully delivered what I wanted to say. But I'm sorry for the pauses. I'm really trying to think of better words. I don't want to blurt out nonsense and waste your time. I'm probably wasting your time now, but I guess I just want to be able to talk about how important the song is to me. Whenever I sing that song, I can't help but place myself back years ago for when I didn't really know who I was. This song is very important to me to the point of I can't listen to the song. I can't listen to the track. Whenever I do, I just get very emotional. I don't even think about cool or command. I don't think about metal like. I think about real life, not this metaphorical version of my mind, of my person, but my my friends, the real people in my life. Because when I wrote this song, Meadowlark wasn't established. The voices weren't established. The characters weren't explored. It all originally just came from me. And so I suppose I just want to be able to communicate really clearly that this song should be taken and received carefully. And I'm just a little scared that inevitably it'll be it'll be played and sung in places I wouldn't be in, my friends wouldn't be in, and that's not something I can stop. I'm trying my hardest to be as raw and true and sincere and careful because I know inevitably as well that this song will be out there. No matter how long it takes, it will come out. And may it be now, may it be tomorrow, may it be years later, I'm still going to be needing to address it. I'm still going to be writing up that voiceover. I'm still going to make the take it to heart video. Still going to be emotional. I'm still going to feel defensive and protective over it. It's just a matter of time. So what's the point of prolonging it when I can address it right now? And in doing so, I'm able to move on and get it But from what I was saying, it's difficult because you fell in love with Yaelokre through Harpy. You fell in love with Yaelokre because of the characters, that jolly scarecrow and these four-masked kids, and the story that goes around with it, the themes and such. It's such a unique thing. Not totally, but at least that's what, people within the industry would tell me. Something that stands out. So I do get it. It is a world where the characters do sing and I voice them, and then so on and so forth, such and so. And it is it is harder for me because, of course, it's going to be perceived as those two characters. Of course, I will be doing that. But at the end of the day, it just kind of feels a little bit unfair. I'm not making any sense. I'm not. It's just me exploring my head again. What I'm saying maybe is that I request that despite the characters being present, despite there being different people, I suppose I want there to be a slight consideration that this isn't just fiction, that this is coming from a real person. I guess that's all that I want. And it's really simple, but at the same time it feels like a huge request. When so many artists, especially those who are given attention, are seen ungrateful for having asked more when they're receiving so much in comparison to a normal person going about their day. That's why I'm always so afraid of taking up space, because I walk and feel as though I've already received so much. Lily Twinkle Noodle, I like your name, Twinkle Noodle, says that I will say that the NI reprise sounded incredibly autobiographical to me, and it felt like a poetic rewarding of things you've said out of character. So it's not impossible or unlikely that the same will be felt about Harkin. I'm happy having read that, thank you. The reprise wasn't planned at all. It was kind of a sly move because I know that Harpy Hair's birthday was coming. And of course, it's the most popular song in their catalogue. So I was like, that's kind of meaningless now. I want people to actually take notice of the things that I want them to take notice of. And yes, like a huge part of it was derived from my journal as well, which was the lyrics that were originally written not supposedly for Meadowlark. But at the end of the day, I mean, Meadowlark is a diary turned storybook, so who am I kidding? I am very excited. Um, I'm very excited nonetheless. I'm very excited for you to receive it, whenever it may be. I've had a habit of prolonging it, of shutting down anything Harkin related. I've had a habit of sweeping it under the rug, under the carpet, and going quiet whenever people bring it up. But after the video, I feel as though I am much more confident because then I could just lead them to that singular video. They take it to heart as a sort of precaution or safeguard or provision before they consume the song. I can't really talk lightly about it. Even the team kind of just allowed me to do whatever I want with it because they knew how important it was for me. And it wasn't a song that was meant to be on the charts or anything. It's not supposed to lead this project or my career, but it is a really important translation of my person. Not because of the characters that sing it, or not because of the lyrics in itself, but because of the experience and the upbringing it has gone through, because of its age and because of the amount of people that ex- have experienced it prior to this project going public. The very first time I performed it was 2024, March 26. It was the night of March 26th, 2024. That was my very first gig and show as Yaelokre. The video is still up on YouTube. I'm sure a lot of you have watched it already, but it was um, just in front of my friends. There were less than 40 people, and they wanted me to perform for the first time. They pushed me to be on that stage. I was really shy because I was dressed as the storyteller for a Renaissance fair. But in this gig, I did not have the costume. I did not have that hat covering my face. I wasn't playing a character that is supposed to be a performer that is confident and uh, professional. I was just some kid with an instrument who 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 have who has never performed as themselves ever. I have never performed as Keith before, and I was full of stage fright. In that video, my, my friends were hyping me up so bad, and I didn't have a script. I was just telling the story as I remembered it, and I was stumbling a lot, and I was so shy. But then I looked down and they were sitting and they were like acting as if they were kids in a library. And they were cupping their faces with their hands and they were looking really um like puppy eyes up on me, just making me laugh and making me feel better about myself. Slowly I gained confidence. The more songs I played, the more they were like they were bobbing their heads. And then comes Harkin, and they knew full well how important Harkin was for me. And they danced. I was so surprised. And within that moment, I was like, this is who I want to be. I just want to be the person that sings and makes everyone dance and makes everyone happy and live in the moment. And I didn't care that they were not listening, nor understanding the story, nor looking at me and paying attention to me. I loved seeing them dance. I loved seeing them have fun. I love witnessing the people I love have fun, be happy. And that was one of the very good memories I had with the song Harkin. Lily, Lily says I got my cutie mark at that moment. Yeah, that's true. That's true, I think. I think that's very true. Maybe I've gotten my cutie mark before, but but I've never really understood what it was. But within that moment, it's shown, and I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for you to receive this song. And given the reactions, even though there are only about 300 people here in comparison to the million who are waiting, you're probably missing out on my words, but that doesn't matter. I don't really care. If a singular person is able to understand and comprehend my feelings, then that is more than enough. That is enough to justify that I exist, and what I feel is not null. Excited is a good word, and you can judge whether I sound good or bad singing sick. I tried my very best. And hopefully, once you receive it, you get to associate it with your friends as well, or your very special moment when you allowed yourself to just be and enjoy the present. And in some way, I know it's possible, even if neither of us figures it out, that you're able to feel the exact same thing I feel. One can only hope. Yeah, I'm still a little afraid, honestly, of so many of you are so kind and understanding, and I perception is a scary thing. Scared of the fact that well, it's just a song. Of course, a song that has so many memories, a bottle of all the very good ones that you made with your friends and your family and the people that you love. I think take it to heart is one of the very few steps, is one of the big steps that I've made to letting it go. And I was so scared. I was so scared when it premiered earlier today. Well, yesterday for my time zone, but today maybe on yours. When it premiered and it was counting down, I was so nervous. I was so nervous, my pits were sweating, my eyes were sweating. I am currently living alone, so I kind of just don't know what to do. And of course, inevitably, I teared up because I was like, oh no, I'm being perceived. My my journal is going out there. This is going out there. People are waiting and listening and seeing this part of me that is that felt like an inconvenience. But you received it with so much kindness, despite being confused. And I sound like a broken record, I know. And I don't really mind it. I think I got it from my dad. My dad tells the same exact story of the first time we met, over and over again whenever he gets drunk and emotional. And I love hearing it all the time. And he says, Keith, I know I'm a broken record, but I just love telling the story over and over again. The moment you accepted me as your dad. And he goes on about the whole, like, in detail, sends the same picture over and over again too. I love him. I definitely got that from him. I'm not going to prolong this live. I have many things to do, and I do need sleep, as many other people do as well, to go about their day. I don't want to be an inconvenience to you any further. But I guess that's about it. I don't think I really cleared up anything else, other than the fact that I'm not quitting, nor um I'm not depressed. I'm not in trouble. I just wanted to say how much Harkin means to me, and that it puts me back to when I was not the greatest, but my friends saw otherwise, and that artists are people, and the project isn't and it's not supposed to be treated as some sort of show with names and characters and plots being tossed around and people running amok with assumptions when you're talking about a real person. I guess it's also a really good closure for Forward, it being the last song. Roll credits. And allows us to have a fresh start and have this understanding and a way of looking, or a way of perceiving whatever comes next, whatever's behind that door, whenever it'll come up. Thank you so much. Even though the chat is a little quick, I tend to look and and read. Your messages aren't void to me, even if I only know this singular part of you, and I don't know everyone's name. You are inevitably engraved in my life, and I do not want to say this in a parasocial stance, of course. You don't know me, and I don't know you, but I think kindness and respect and passion and dedication being a bridge between us and between everyone being strangers and all is it's such a wonderful thing. And I think that should be enough. And the world will be full of rainbows and ponies and stars and sparkles and magic. Yeah, that's fun. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful night. Get your breakfast, have your lunch or dinner. Spend time with your friends and your parents too. Give your mum a hug. I would love to hug my mum right now. I can't say that because I'm gonna tear up. I love you all. Please keep kind.